for now. Any answer please to share with the people.
Serikali ni gani? Bila shaka and reach out anytime and then we can have a few conversations.
Since his assumption into office, President William Samoei Ruto has stepped up diplomatic outreaches with various countries with the aim of diversifying economic ties and deepening foreign relations. The President has made 39 foreign visits, and we have hosted over 30 heads of states and governments, the last one being the President of Romania, who we had a reception yesterday. We have also been able to sign mega bilateral and multilateral agreements, further stamping Kenya's authority as a diplomatic powerhouse. So many Kenyans are asking, what are the benefits of these foreign trips? The President's visits have yielded numerous benefits for our nations, emphasizing our commitment for fostering international relations that enhance our economic prosperity and global influence. These visits have secured investment partnerships and signing of agreements, some of which include, number one, over 350,000 jobs opportunities for Kenyans to work in Saudi Arabia and investment in renewable energy. Now you'll ask yourself, 350,000 jobs. Assuming you get a low-skilled job that would pay a Kenya maybe 30,000 Kenya shillings, and you translate by 350,000 Kenyans, you can see the number of the amount of remittances that would actually come to us as a country. And currently, as you may be aware, we are actually able to get over 600 billion shillings. Actually, to be precise, is about 750, more than actually, if you go by the rate of the dollar, that is now coming from the Kenyans who are sending money from abroad. So if we have 350,000 Kenyans going to Saudi Arabia, you can see how many households, how many homes will not only be supported by their sons and daughters working in Saudi Arabia, but also the amount of money that will also circulate in our local economy. And you need to visit Kenyans who are, families of Kenyans who are working abroad to see the kind of living standards that have been improved as a result of that. And it's also a foreign exchange earner for our country. Currently, the people who are in Saudi Arabia, by the last statistics, they were about 100,000. So if you increase by about 350,000 going forward, then you are talking about close to 500,000 Kenyans helping us to actually grow our economy and also getting jobs that may be scarce here at home. So it's really a great deal. The President has also held talks with UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and a deal worth about 900 billion Kenya shillings. Now that's quite something. And it should be remembered that Rishi Sunak, the father actually was born and brought up here in Nairobi. He's a Kenyan of Asian origin. And it should not be lost that the President actually visited, the first visit of the king was in this country. So if you have actually 900 billion shillings worth of investment here in the country, it is going to be a game changer. And the biggest project they have is the railway city here in Nairobi that is going to revolutionize our urban transport system. So very, very impressive. The President has also been able to have Kenya open its embassy in Senegal. Now, what this means is that we have now a new engagement with Senegal. Yeah? And that means it's a new market for our products. People can visit easily, and Senegalese can also benefit from us. One of the most popular things that the President has done, actually, is to invite Africans to come here without visa. That will be made more concretely going forward, and something that has become very popular, in Africa, and you could see even countries like Rwanda also taking heed on the same. The other benefit that has also emanated from the 39 foreign trips is that he has signed and ratified the East Africa One Area Network for mobile telephony with his Rwanda counterpart, President Paul Kagame. What this means is that when you are going to call Rwanda, it's going to be much, much cheaper. And that means there's a higher connectivity and also business and communication for that matter. Then Kenya has also been able to establish the Kenya-Djibouti Business Council because Djibouti relies quite a bit on our market, and also we have to do quite a bit on that. Remember, IGAD is there, so it's a very critical, outpost in terms of our business and market in that regard. The other issue is that the president has been able to sign various MOUs in trade, investment, energy, ICT, transport, education, security, tourism, culture, agriculture, and the blue economy with the Congo-Brazzaville counterpart, Denis Sassou Nguesso. And one of the good things about it is that now there was a flight that was flying to Brazzaville, but it had stopped. Now it has resumed, and that means then we have more business opportunities. And further to that, he has also opened a resident mission. So there's now a mission in Brazzaville. So we have now proper, diplomatic relations in that regard. The president has also been able to sign another deal, a program, the Millennium Challenge Corporation. And this, again, is going to enable us to have over 900 billion, actually. Over 9 billion, I beg your pardon, that will really help in terms of getting electric vehicles. And you may ask yourself why this is important. If you change your vehicle from diesel or petrol to electric, you are going to spend only 10% of what you are spending earlier on. So again, the cost of fuel and efficiency is very important, and this is for buses. So we can see how it's going to really revolutionize this place. The president has also held talks with the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, and the whole idea is to have a grain bulk or hub in Mombasa. You'll ask yourself why, because a lot of wheat is actually imported from this country, so it will actually help Kenya to host the hub and therefore distribute to the rest of East Africa. And of course it will cheapen the costings because of shipping and all of that. It is also very impressive that the United Nations Office for Project Services has actually picked Kenya as its national headquarters. So over and above UNEP, UN Habitat, such other agencies, we now have a new headquarter for a UN agency, United Nations Office for Project Services. And that's a great deal because it means we are going now to get the development dollars, if we can call them that way. They are going to actually increase. And also, over 129 billion Kenya shillings has been agreed upon by the Development Finance Corporation to fund Kenyan companies, especially the SMEs in agriculture and agribusiness. So again, a lot of money for private equity and private, enterprise financing that was not available before. And Kenya has also bagged $75 million in terms of green investments. That's also a lot of money that would help in terms of our climate action. And the Chinese themselves have also signed an MOU, President Xi Jinping, so that there is more market to their 1.4 billion people for our products. And of course, they have also canceled all the visa appointments for Kenyans as a result of that engagement. I think that's a very commendable issue because you don't need a visa to go to China. That's one of the greatest benefits that we have gotten from this. And of course, the other MOUs that have been signed by the Chinese. Then there is also the Huawei deal between ourselves and them, so that we can have, a transformation of our digital, infrastructure. So they are going to be really helping us in doing so. And Pepsi has actually expressed interest as a result of his visit, the president's visit in America, in setting up, operations in Nairobi. So Pepsi, of course, is a rival to Coca-Cola. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have had the benefits of almost close to 2 trillion shillings that have been sealed, in terms of MOUs. And you'll ask the question, then why can't the ambassadors do it? No, it's not that simple, ladies and gentlemen. You have to give that thrust as the president when he is committed, and when he shows up, the power of showing up. It's really very important. And it is important because Kenya does not have a lot of fiscal headroom, if you know what I'm talking about, because we borrowed a lot. So we need to find other ways through PPPs, public-private partnerships, and all of such, so that then we are able to leverage on new ways of financing our development. And I think this is very, very, very important. For example, when we talk about the funding of renewable energy by Saudi Arabia, we have a potential of up to 26 gigawatts through wind and solar. So we really have a lot of potential, and that's why you can see going forward, the Chinese, the Saudis would want to see how is it that we can marketize this. The Kenya Kwanza government is a listening government. The government has stabilized fuel price by up to Kenya shillings 19.82 per liter, resulting to a reduction in the retail pump price of diesel and kerosene. This price stabilization has cushioned Kenyans against the projected increase in fuel prices attributed to the rise of landed costs of imported fuel. Without this stabilization, petrol would retail at Kenya shillings 229 shillings, diesel 223, and 206 shillings for kerosene, saving consumers Kenya shillings 12.01 for petrol, Kenya shillings 19.82 for diesel, and Kenya shillings 3.64 for kerosene, and Kenya shillings 3.64 for petrol. So this is in addition to a raft of other initiatives, including subsidized fertilizer, whose price was reduced from 6,000 to 2,500 accordingly. So the reduced cost of fertilizer has actually led to increased yields and therefore contributing to food security. And this has, in essence, seen the cost of unga drop from as high of 230, 250 a year ago to between 145 to 175, as was addressed by the president during the State of the Nation address, and depending on the brand. And even if you look at milk, it was 60 shillings, but now you can get as low as 43, 45, depending on which brand as well. So the cost of other commodities is also dropping down as a result of the government's deliberate efforts of subsidizing production rather than consumption. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be easy, because as much as we are doing this, we are also having a challenge of the dollar skyrocketing. Is almost approaching 160 mark, and that has a great impact on the cost of living. But be that as it may, you can see the inflation has still been maintained at 6.8%. The government is really, really trying a lot, and now you can even see the dryers, for maize have started being distributed in Eldoret and some other places, as you will be hearing going forward. Kenya Kwanza is very, very keen to listen to Kenyans. That is why the Kenya Gazette, that was trying to increase the cost of certain services at the State Department of Immigration, It has now since been revoked for further public participation because we are a listening government. And I'd want to call upon Kenyans to continuously give us feedback. That is why my office of government spokesperson exists, so that we can hear you, so that we can have an opportunity to actually address your concerns, and so that we are able to move forward as a country.